know what to say, but I will say that I am probably the president's #1 fan. And that's not going to change. And the hate or what people have to say, it does not affect me at all. It actually motivates me to support him more. And it's gonna motivate all of us to support him more. We're not going to let them get away with bullying him and, you know, the smear campaigns. It's not going to work, okay? He has a lot of force behind him, and God is protecting him. Amen.
She went crazy when she heard that this was happening. I want to go. You know, she happens to be in the wrong state right now for that. But when she heard that there's a certain person that's here who's the greatest and most successful female rapper in history, Nicki Minaj. Come on. And, you know, and Nicki makes a lot of cash. Not as much as Michael Dell. Not quite. Not as much. But that's okay. But Nicki makes a lot of money, and she's generously stepping up. She's investing hundreds of thousands of dollars in Trump accounts to support the children and really the children of her incredible fans. That's great. Focus on that. Why should you give to somebody else's fans? Give to your fans. I like that. But, and I just think she's great. You know, I've been hearing so much over the years, because I didn't know Nicki, and I've been hearing over the years she's a big Trump supporter and a Trump fan, and she took a little heat on occasion. Her community isn't necessarily, I tell you, we did pretty damn well with that, with your community, as we say. But Nicki has been an unbelievable supporter.
Well, the lies were exposed, and Trump has seen how this scandal has rocked his poll numbers. He rang Minnesota Governor Tim Walz, a Democrat, to talk peace, and it seems to have agreed that Trump may remove some of the ICE agents, and Walz will stop a campaign of opposition to them. But the biggest sign of retreat is that Trump has sidelined Kristi Noem and appointed his Border Tsar, Tom Honan, to take over in Minnesota instead. He says Honan will report directly to him, Trump, and not Noem, who I think seems destined for the sack. Joining me is Sean Spicer, Donald Trump's first White House spokesman. Sean Spicer, great to see you again. The shooting of Alex Pritty, that seems to me both a tragedy and a disaster for the White House, which has been, you know, it's all been made worse by the lies that Kristi Noem told about it. It now seems that Donald Trump sees that too and is sidelining Noem. How bad is this?
Well, there's a few things. It's not good. You're absolutely right. I mean, the idea of Americans waking up and seeing on their television screens for the second time in a couple of weeks an American being killed is not a great image. And the finger pointing, you know, in this situation just it doesn't help the White House. The idea of trying to figure out who to cast blame, and the individual themselves could be 100% wrong. It's just still not a good image of an American dying on a street. But there's a couple factors at play here. Number one, why is Minneapolis happening the way it is, but other cities aren't. And that's one of the questions that I think Caroline Levitt addressed today at the White House briefing, but most people should ask, why is it the case that New Orleans or Memphis or Washington, D.C. aren't having the same problems? They're all run by Democrats as well. The difference is, yes, they are sanctuary cities to some degree, but they're also cooperating with ICE. Minneapolis has gone out of its way to say, we don't want to work with you, and that's created this additional tension, these additional problems, these additional loopholes for the federal officials going after the criminals. That being said, them coming out and sort of gaslighting the American people, as you noted with Kristi Noem, the way she did, is not helping create trust or accountability or understanding as to what the real goal is. And Trump sending out Tom Homan was absolutely the right move here. And let me just say why. When you look at Tom Homan, he is a man who President Obama gave our nation's highest award to. He is a recognized law enforcement man. He spent years as a beat cop in New York City and decades as a federal agent. He has the bona fides and the credibility to go out and address the issues of ICE and detainment and going after criminals in a very sort of professional way, one that, frankly, Kristi Noem lacks.
Well, that's very interesting. What does it say about Kristi Noem? Is she finished then in the long term? I mean, it's quite extraordinary how Tom Homan has been put in charge of essentially her operation. I mean, she's the ultimate say in it. But now this Tom Homan is going to be reporting directly to Donald Trump, as the president himself said, made very clear.
Yeah, look, first of all, let's just to fill your viewers on a little palace intrigue. There had been rumors of a lot of tension between Homan and Noem for quite some time. Homan, as I said, is a well-established law enforcement guy who's got strong bona fides dealing with the border, immigration, customs enforcement, that whole deal. So for him, this is in his wheelhouse. Noem, yes, she was a governor, but she's no law enforcement experience, no border experience. I mean, the DHS secretary deals with a lot. They've got the Coast Guard, TSA, all of these various entities, the Secret Service, under their purview. It's a big managerial job. But when it comes to the actual border, Tom Homan is the right guy to be addressing this. And I think the president, not only in the tweet that he sent out this morning, acknowledging that Tom would be going, but made it very clear, and this is something that didn't get a lot of attention, Andrew. He said Homan, who hasn't been involved up till yet, it was almost to say Homan's got clean hands. He can go in and be an honest broker, an honest agent, whereas Noem had sort of created some tension and some concern about her previous statements going back to Renee Good's incident in Minneapolis just a few days prior to that. So I think the reason that he sent Homan in is to be that honest broker, a guy with credentials. But also, one of the things that I talked about earlier today in the U.S. that was interesting to see the president deal with is making this deal. As I said at the outset, the reason that ICE is having this situation is that law enforcement refuses to cooperate in Minneapolis. So if they know somebody's in their jail and is a criminal, they won't tell ICE. If they know that they get somebody wrapped up in an arrest and they're illegal, they won't tell ICE. And what I think the president needed to do, and he clearly was making that overture today with Governor Tim Walz of Minnesota, was to say, how about we come to a deal? You work with our guys to go after known criminals, people that are in your city, in your state, that have criminal records, and we will back off doing what we had to because you wouldn't work with us in the first place. If they can both agree to that, I think the temperature gets taken down, ICE gets to continue doing what it's doing, Walz gets a victory by seeing thousands of these agents probably leave Minneapolis, and he can claim a political victory as well.